Hi everyone and welcome to today's video. Today we are going to be testing out and reviewing the new Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r Soft Matte Powder Foundation. Now it retails for $36 US and you can find it in 50 different shades. I grabbed the shade 240, which is what I typically wear in their liquid foundation. Now this is supposed to be a medium to full coverage powder foundation, so you can build it up if you need to, or you can leave it really nice and light. It all is going to depend on how you apply it. If you want a lighter coverage, then you're going to apply it with something that's not as dense. If you want fuller coverage, then you can apply it with the dense little sponge that it comes in, which looks like this. Kind of reminds me of like those old school sponges that I would use, you know, as a young adult trying to do my makeup. As far as the packaging, A+, per usual. This is what their highlighters look like, and I think like their blushes and stuff also come in packaging like this. It looks exactly the same. Very sturdy. It has like 2 mirrors inside of it, so when you open it, you get your first mirror here. This is where you would store your little sponge, and you got your second mirror here. Not like an actual mirror, but this is definitely reflective enough to use as a mirror. Now let's go over some of the quick details before we start. This is, like I said, a medium to full coverage foundation, although the website does state that you can even go lighter than medium coverage, just depending on how you are going to apply it, depending on how much you're going to apply. It's supposed to be long wearing, light, so it's not going to feel heavy. It's not going to settle into fine lines. It's not going to move around. It's supposed to be a very like set it, done, good to go for the day type of foundation based on everything that I'm reading. It's also sweat, humidity, and crease resistant, which I really hope it is. I hate when foundations settle or really crease here around the mouth for me. Absolutely hate that. This is also 100% cruelty free. All right, so let's get started. And now I am going to switch the way that I apply everything today because I'm working with a powder foundation. So instead of doing a corrector and then foundation and then concealer, I'm going to do corrector, concealer, and then foundation since this is a powder product. I don't want to apply anything wet on top of it because that is definitely just inviting cakiness to the party and we don't want that. So let me color correct, conceal, and then I'll be back for the foundation. All right, so I'm back. Concealer is done. I've set it. The under eye area is taken care of. Now it is time for foundation. So like I said, I'm going to use this little sponge that this came with in order to get more like medium to full coverage. I want to see exactly how much coverage this does provide. Not going for a light day today, that's for sure. So just grabbing some of the shade 240. All right, so there's one swipe. Let's try over here. All right, so half of my face has foundation and the other half does not. You can clearly see the difference. I really like the way that this goes on because it almost feels like you're not applying anything, but once you glance at it again, like if you look at it a second time, you can certainly see just how much this foundation is actually doing. But without looking like it's doing much, I don't know if that makes sense. I'm gonna zoom you guys here in a second so that you can see exactly what I'm talking about. This side just looks a lot more even, a lot smoother. Pores, of course, are a lot smoother over here as well. But it doesn't look like I'm wearing much of anything, if anything. Let me zoom you guys in and that way you guys can get a closer look at my skin before I applied foundation and at my skin after. All right, so this is the side without any foundation on it, as you can see. My imperfections are in full view, which is fine. Imperfections are not bad. But yeah, you can definitely see exactly what my skin looks like and how it's not even. Now, if you compare it to this side, it looks like skin. Like it really truly does look like skin, but without being able to see anything. All right, so let's keep going with the left side now. And I think this is a pretty good shade match for me because as I'm applying it, I'm like, it's not applying anything, but it is. You can clearly see that it is. Let's try to cover up those blemishes that I have. Look at that. This looks so good. And yes, by the way, I am aware that my nails look awful. It's because I was starting to take the dip powder off this morning. Since I'm gonna be redoing them today, I think it's time. All right, so there's the foundation. It looks gorgeous. It looks so good. It feels very, very light when you look at it up close. When you look at my face up close, it does not look like I have a full coverage foundation on. It looks like your skin. It feels like your skin. It just takes care of everything. I did build it up here along the cheeks just to see how much coverage this truly provides when you build it up. And it provides quite a bit because I have an active blemish here, here, and here. And you know, I should have applied a little bit of concealer and then gone in with the foundation, but this is what I'm getting with just the powder foundation, and the coverage is really good. It is really good. So let me finish the rest of my makeup and I will be right back. All right, so I'm back, makeup is done. It is time for me to continue on with my day. So far, I love this foundation so much. I love the way that it looks. I love the way that the skin looks. I love that it's so lightweight and comfortable. It feels like you pretty much have nothing on. As far as my skin, I am oily here along the T-zone and I'm normal pretty much everywhere else. So I will be looking at the T-zone throughout the day to see if this keeps me pretty matte. Also, I am not wearing a primer underneath this foundation. The only thing that I did this morning is moisturize and apply my sunscreen and called it a day. We'll see how it wears, right? It is currently 11:04. I do plan on checking in from my car at around 3 o'clock so that you guys can get a natural lighting check-in. It is cloudy, overcast today, so not really sure how good that will be, but at least you'll get to see this under a different kind of light instead of like the studio lighting that I have in this room. So I will see you guys in my car at around 3 o'clock for my midday check-in. Okay, so I am back. It is 2:59, so almost like 4 hours right on the dot. This is what the foundation looks like. I really like it. Still looking really good. Everything, like, I forgot I was wearing foundation there for a second earlier, and I was like just trying to avoid touching my face because I do when I wear regular foundation, like I know not to like rub my face or wipe my eye or whatever, and I forgot, like that's how light this is wearing. So far, so good. As far as whether or not it's keeping me matte, I don't think that it is necessarily. I see a little bit of shininess on the forehead, but nothing that, you know, would prevent me from wearing this again. Overall, I like it so far. We'll see. We'll see how we end the day. I will wear this for about another 4 hours and yeah, call it done. So I'll see you guys back at the house at around 7 o'clock or so for my final check-in. All right, so I'm back for my final check-in, ready to call this a day. It is currently 7:07, so I've had this foundation on now for 8 hours. Now, before I get into what I think about this new powder foundation from Fenty, I am going to zoom you guys in one last time so that you can get a better look, an up-close look at my skin with this foundation after 8 hours. All right, so we're gonna start off with the forehead because I feel like we should just work our way down, right? So forehead looks a little bit shiny. This definitely did not keep me matte, but it's not excessively shiny. It didn't settle into fine lines. It didn't separate. I feel like I'm still getting really nice coverage along the forehead, even though it didn't keep me matte. Now here's the left side of my face. I feel like the foundation wore off just a little bit, like right down here. And I feel like I have a similar situation going on right over here as well. Now, as far as the nose area, my smile lines, we are looking good. We are really good there. All right, so now that you've seen everything up close, what do I think? I absolutely love this foundation. I love it. I really love everything about it. It wears really lightweight, doesn't settle into fine lines. It doesn't accentuate fine lines. It's truly long lasting. I feel right here, the reason why it probably wore off right here, the only thing that I can think of is that I was outside playing with one of our dogs and I did have a jacket on. And so perhaps the jacket rubbing up against the sides of my face, I think maybe that's what this is about. But even with that, I still love the way that this foundation looks, the way that it feels like nothing's on my skin. Like I said during my midday check-in, I was trying really hard to remind myself that I have makeup on and I probably shouldn't be touching my face. It just feels so lightweight. It feels like nothing at all. It blurs out the pores. It definitely just evens out the skin, and it doesn't look or feel heavy whatsoever. Lasts all day. Even though it didn't keep me completely matte along the forehead, I feel like that's an easy fix. I mean, this is a compact with a mirror, and you have like, you know, your tool right here. So like if you really want to keep matte, you can just, you know, touch up a little bit midway through the day and call it good. But I didn't do that, and it didn't make me excessively oily. I feel like my skin just looks nice. It looks natural. It looks good. I love everything about this foundation. Overall, I love this foundation. I highly recommend it, especially if you're someone who prefers to wear powder foundations. Like if you're not really looking for any liquid option, but you want something that's a powder foundation that's going to last, that's going to be full coverage, this is it. I really feel like this is absolutely it. And the fact that they offer it in 50 different shades, definitely a plus. So that completes today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I truly hope that you enjoyed today's product review and that you found it helpful. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out on future videos. And also don't forget to follow me over on Instagram, where I absolutely love to interact with you guys. As always, take care, and I will see you all in my next video. Mwah! Bye.